Hello, I'm Princess Sally Acorn. We will learn about election and voting. An election is a formal group decision-making process by which a population chooses an individual to hold public office. It is usually used in democratic nations. The word elect means to select or make a decision, and so sometimes other forms of ballots such as referendums are referred to as elections, especially in the United States. Back in the ancient Greece and ancient Rome, and throughout the medieval period to select rulers such as the Holy Roman Emperor, and the Pope. In Vedic period of India, the Raja, called chiefs, of a Gana, a tribal organization, was apparently elected by the Gana. The Raja belonged to the noble Kshatriya Varna, warrior class, and was typically a son of the previous Raja. However, the Gana members had the final say in his elections. The modern election, which consists of public elections of government officials, didn't emerge until the beginning of the 17th century when the idea of representative government took hold in North America and Europe. Although that early elections in countries such as the United Kingdom and the United States were dominated by landed or ruling class males. Then in 1920, all Western European and North American democracies had universal adult male suffrage and many countries began to consider women's suffrage, except Switzerland. You know, suffrage is typically only for citizens of the country, though further limits may be imposed. The question of who may vote is a central issue in elections. For example, many countries prohibit those who are under the age of majority from voting. All jurisdictions require a minimum age for voting. In some other countries, let's see for Western Australia, the penalty for a first-time offender failing to vote is a $20 fine, which increases to $50 if the offender refused to vote prior. This is due to the weak rule of law. The most common reason why elections do not meet international standards of being free and fair is interference from the incumbent government. Election mechanisms such as voting machines, or election computers, that lets you indicate voter ID for every person. In US, the dark red color will indicate a lot of hacking mechanisms. This happened in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, and New Jersey. Those in power may arrest or assassinate candidates, suppress or even criminalize campaigning, close campaign headquarters, harass or beat campaign workers, or intimidate voters with violence. This can include falsifying voter instructions, violation of the secret ballot, ballot stuffing, tampering with voting machines, destruction of legitimately cast ballots, voter suppression, voter registration fraud, failure to validate voter residency, fraudulent tabulation of results, and use of physical force or verbal intimidation at polling places. Other examples include persuading candidates not to run, such as through blackmailing, bribery, intimidation or physical violence. So we'd like to talk about show elections. Show election is an election that is held purely for show, that is, without any significant political choice or real impact on results of election. Also called sham election. Ballots may contain only one yes option, or in the case of a simple yes or no question, security forces often persecute people who pick no, thus encouraging them to pick the yes option. In other cases, those who vote receive stamps in their passport for doing so, while those who did not vote, they are persecuted as enemies of the people. The ballot paper shows two types of votes: district vote and party vote. District vote can be done by only one candidate. Party vote on the other hand to be voted with many candidates, typically as a third party. All you have to do is to put the X marks the spot in the box immediately for some candidates, who are ready to elect. So you now know how election and voting works. Like, comment, and subscribe now on YouTube.